Hey, everybody, welcome to our Heat Team call. We have one every Tuesday night, have for over 20 years. And I'm really excited about tonight because this is something I've been watching other people do, but I haven't done it myself. And it's putting reels on Instagram. And if any of you have been following Leanne, every week for over the last 10 or 20 weeks, her social media has leveled up every single week. And so she's going to be perfect to do the call tonight. She's a mom of Lila Pearl, who's almost 3. Is she 3?
She'll be 3 in June.
3 in June. And she's got an amazing husband, Roger, who's incredibly supportive. And she's a yoga teacher. And she's incredibly mindful. And she is totally about transformation. So she's going to transform us tonight in the way we do social media. So I'm turning this over to you, Leanne.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Nikki. So I'll tell you a little bit about my story. As Nikki said, I am Leanne. I am a wife, a mama, and I am from Bend, Oregon. I'm a yoga and meditation teacher, and I love what I do. I love my clients. I love sharing my passion, and I love helping people. The problem is that teaching yoga, unfortunately, it doesn't pay very much. And so I've always had to have another source of income on the side to help balance out the workload. But I'm curious though, have you ever felt completely overwhelmed, like everything that you've ever worked for was about to be taken away from you? For me, on March 13th of 2020, I was working remotely for a local tea company when I was teaching at multiple yoga studios around Bend. And I found out that all yoga studios and all coffee and tea shops would be forced to close. I stayed strong when I found out, but I was completely devastated. It was like everything that I had worked so hard for over the last few years was being taken away from me literally overnight. Thankfully, I had this plan B, this business on the side that has totally transformed my life. I can't thank my friend enough for having the courage to share this business with me because I am living my best life possible. And I feel like I found my purpose. And so for me, I dipped my toes in the mission and I started off very slowly, very worried of what people might think of me. And slowly but surely, the more that I shared the concept of encapsulated fruits and veggies, the more I realized I was helping people get healthier. And we need more of that now more than ever, right? And I plan on taking these beautiful capsules forever and ever because I have so much energy and I'm sleeping better when Lila does, of course. And not only that, I mix my bad habit of nail biting, and best of all, you guys, I'm pooping daily on my own. And I used to think that pooping a few times a week was normal, but man, does it feel good to be regular. And Lila, oh my goodness, she is just the healthiest kiddo on the block. And so I'm like, why not tell everyone that I know? And so that's what I'm doing now because I love customer service and I love helping people get healthier. And not only that, I get to spend all my days at home with my beautiful baby girl and work my business on my own schedule. And I have time freedom to be the present mom, which I have always dreamed of. I love having the ability to run my international business from anywhere as long as I have a Wi-Fi signal to connect to my social media. And so that's what I'm going to talk to you tonight. Social media, you guys, I have built a good majority of my business using social media. And not only that, over the past few months, as they, introduced Reels and they got a little bit more popular, I've been utilizing them in my business to have more conversations. And so I've got a little presentation here. I'm going to share my screen with you.
And by the way, you look beautiful tonight, Leanne.
Oh, thank you. Oop, I think I shared the presentation, but not my screen. Hold on one second. Let's try that again. Okay, here we go. Let's make it big for you guys. Okay, so social media, let's get real. Oop, let's see. Can you guys still see that?
Yeah, we can see
now
it. We can see it.
All right, perfect. Let's see. I want to go bigger. Bigger is better, right? Let's see. Okay, here we go. Let's get real. Social media. So a little bit about me. Oh, it's going really fast. A little bit about me. Like I said, I'm a wife, a toddler mom. I am a yoga teacher. I am a snowboard enthusiast and a cat lover. You guys can find me on Instagram at Mountain Yoga Mama 1 and also at Smoothies and Plants. You can also find me on TikTok at Smoothies and Plants. And then you can find me on Facebook, Leanne Schweitzer. And you guys, if you are not on Instagram or TikTok yet, that's totally okay. This training is designed for you. It's going to be that intro, get started in social media. So first of all, I want you guys all to log out of your social media, put your phone on Do Not Disturb. I want you to just solely focus on this presentation. It's being recorded and it's being live streamed. So you're going to be able to go back. And when you go back and watch it, then I would encourage you to not only have your phone, but have your computer so that you can do it simultaneously and kind of do the things together. So first up, you guys, this is one of my favorite quotes of all time from Fraser Brooks. Social media is turning strangers into friends and friends into family. Put a 1 in the comments if you have made any friends on social media. Social media, you guys, it is a platform to show the things that we enjoy. And not only that, we're trying to attract people who feel the same. So who do you want to attract, right? So for me, the things that I want to attract are people that are just like me, right? So that avatar, right? You've heard so many times that avatar is usually exactly like who you are. So for me, I'm a toddler mom, a yoga teacher, you know, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Those are the people that I want to attract and that I want to spend more time with. And so that is what we call a niche. And so a niche is a specialized segment of the market for a particular kind of product or service. And so I'm not really going to get into a training on niche. If you would like to go to myjuiceplus.com, go to your partner website, click on the tab resources, click on the tab trainings, and you can go through the Juice Plus Hub. They've got a great social media academy that's going to go all through all of that information for you. So that is actually step 1. That if you haven't done that yet, I would encourage you to do that first and then do this training after that. So first things first, and these statistics are taken straight from Fraser Brooks. He is an amazing social media influencer. And I did an amazing training with him. And so he was talking about how often to post. And so whatever it consistently means to you. So if consistency means once a day, if consistency means 3 times a day, if consistency means once a week, once a month, whatever that means to you, be consistent about it. Continue to show up. And as far as Juice Plus posts, what I like to have a rule of thumb for is 1, 2, 3 Juice Plus. So 1 post about being a toddler mom, 1 post about being a yoga instructor, 1 post about food, a recipe, and then I post something about Juice Plus. So 1, 2, 3 Juice Plus. That's kind of the what Fraser recommended, and that's actually what I like to do as well. And I would encourage you, if you're not posting, post at least once a week about your business, right? The business behind the Juice Plus product. And then as far as stories go, share in your stories as much or as little as you'd like. And then I would encourage you to try to go live at least once a week. So what Reels do is they create that know, like, and trust factor, but going live, it really creates that trust factor, right? If people are following you, people are watching their story, when they go live, they are really getting to know you and they are really getting to trust you. So when are the best times to post? According to your time zone, this is from Fraser Brooks again, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m., 3 p.m. to 5 p.m., and then 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. So here we go, you guys. Why Reels? So not only are they popular and trending, but the big difference that Reels do is they increase your visibility. And so, for example, someone that isn't actively following you, they can still see your reel. And so with that, you guys, like I said, Reels, they allow people to know, like, and trust you. So here we go, you guys. What makes a successful reel? Tip number 1, it's uniquely you, right? You're putting your authentic twist. You're showing your authenticity. You're being raw, vulnerable. You're sharing humor, being a comedian, right? You're showing deep down into your heart exactly who you are. Number 2, the great thing about reels is making it relatable, right? Like I said, humor, make people laugh, see themselves in your content by focusing on topics that are relatable to everyone in your niche. niche, right? And so tip number 3, they are easy to recreate. And that's what we're going to get into a little bit more tonight. So think about virality. So your post going viral, right? So that's when over 1 million people see your post. And so in order to create a good reel, you want it to be something that's going to be reposted, right? And so what's easy for others to recreate and put their own spin on it, right? And so the more accessible that your reels are, the more likely that they are to turn into trends. Last but not least, you guys, keep it simple. Reels, they do not need to be a high production. Less is more. Literally just take a couple of second video of yourself, add a couple of texts to the slide, and then add a little post, and you've got a reel. But it's giving that, like I said, that opportunity to know, like, and trust. If you want to use fancy effects, there's a whole bunch of effects in the actual Instagram portion of reels, and you can add, like, you can turn your hair pink, you can have butterflies behind you, you can have roses and hearts. Like, you can literally do, the world is your oyster with the effects that are in the reels. And so the biggest secret to come up with real ideas is recreating other trends that people have already created and then applying them to your niche. And so that's what we're going to get into tonight. And so for me, the first thing that came up was like, this, what is it? Copyright infringement, right? But so that's actually, the thing about reels is that when people recreate them, their reel ends up getting seen more. And I'll share my screen here in a little bit and I'll show you exactly what I mean by that. But so the number one tip that I have is to create a saved reels folder that you can go back to later. And then you're going to go ahead and save all of the popular sounds that you can find. And you're going to save those into your phone so that you can come back later and use them. Another tip that I have for content creation is reading a book. So say, for example, I'm reading Everything is Figure Outable by Marie Forleo. And so as I'm going through the book, I love, you guys, having a highlighter, and I highlight certain things. And then if it's a really good tip, I take it in the front of my notebook and I write it down and I write what page it's on. And then you guys, you can go back and you can create reels. Like these are 3 tips from Marie Forleo's book that absolutely changed my life. And then you just go through and you share those 3 different tips from the book. So yeah, 3 different tips, like I said, giving value. So 3 different tips. Maybe you give, 3 different tips on how to get rid of dairy from your diet, right? So maybe you substitute cashews, maybe you substitute full fat coconut milk, maybe you substitute nutritional yeast, right? Just giving people 3 different tips. And I just kind of said those because that's kind of like in the plant-based, we're focused on plant-based wellness and nutrition. So that's kind of where that value comes from. And so here we go, you guys, how to do a reel. So first things first, you guys, you're going to record the video content. And so once you've recorded the video, then you're going to add the text to it. Secondly, after that, you're going to add the caption, and then you're going to go through, you're going to choose the cover photo, and you're going to make sure to tag yourself and add your location. The third part of how to do a reel is posting on your timeline, but not only posting on your timeline, you're going to click the little triangle in the bottom corner, and you're going to share it to your story. And then what you can do after that, rather than recreating this reel on every single social media, and I prefer Instagram myself. So I do everything on Instagram, and I use this app called Insta Down. And it's called it's INSTA capital DOWN, Instadown, and that's on an iPhone. And I only have an iPhone. So if you have a Droid or those other phones, I don't actually have a suggestion for you on that end. But with this Instadown, you can actually copy the video. It takes off, it doesn't have any of the watermarks or anything on it. And then you can just share it right into your TikTok. You can share it on your Facebook. It's so simple to just share it across all of your different social media platforms. Last but not least, hashtags, put them in your comments. And the reason that I say to put them in your comments is because the way that your reels get shown more is by the engagement in your posts. And so engagement is comments, right? And so when people comment on your post, not only are you gonna so sorry, you're going to reply to the comments, and that is going to create a conversation. And sometimes people will continue the conversation. Then eventually you can take that conversation either into a direct message, or I highly encourage you, as much as possible, get it to Zoom, especially with social media. Just a side note, I actually did get hacked on social media like probably 2 months ago. And so just be very wary of the, and this is my mama bear coming out, just be very wary of the people that you're having conversations with. And if you can, as much as possible, try and get your conversations onto Zoom. And so rather than sending people videos on social media, I like to invite people to events rather than sending them videos, just because when I did get hacked, it was from clicking a link. And so now I'm like, I stay away from clicking any sort of link. So if you can, invite them to an event. That's my best advice as far as that goes. And so you guys, people, they have short attention spans. So remember how I mentioned earlier that you can do, 3 different tips. And so rather than doing one long video, I would encourage you to do 5 different shorter videos. And that could simply just be like you going like this, doing the intro video. Hey, I want to give you 3 tips on this. And then you stop the video, and then you can maybe go over here. Like, you don't have to do anything fancy. You can just do it from a different view. Like, people have short attention spans. So when you go to different views, then they're going to stay on they're going to stay and watch your video longer. And that's one of the key things about Reels to get seen is what's the word? Anyway, the word is later on in the slide. We'll come back to it. But so we'll take 5 different videos. So you can go like this, you can go like this, you can go like this. And then the last video that you want to record is the outro video with your call to action. This is the most important part, because call to action, if you don't ask, then you're not going to get. So if you don't ask people to like it, they might not like it. But if you leave that you have the call to action, then they're more likely to like it. They're more likely to type yes in the comments. They're more likely to share it to their stories, whatever your call to action is. Oh, and I've got more calls to action here later in the story too. I thought it was after this one. But another cool feature that you can do is doing Reels with friends. And so there's this feature called Invite Collaborator. And actually, I talked to Nikki about possibly doing another training in like 30 days or so, because this is kind of the base level training. But there are so many cool and exciting things that you can do with Reels. So if you guys want to know more and want another training in 30 days, just let me know, and we will get that all set up. And so this is kind of like a future vision. Think about this for later. Oh, here it is. This is the slide I was looking for. Call to action, you guys, ask for stuff, right? So here's a couple of examples. This is a really good one to take a screenshot of. This is from Jessie Lee Ward. She did a training on this. And she is another social media guru. She is just simply amazing. So drop a heart below, follow and drop yes, follow me, click like, drop the word fall, tag 2 friends, share this with someone who could benefit. If you resonate, drop a yes. If you're enjoying this, drop a heart. Where are you watching this from? Where are you tuning in from? Who's in Florida, right? So call to action. You ask for things, and people, you'll be surprised, you guys. You ask for things and people will, they'll respond. And so important things to remember about the algorithm that I talked about earlier, percentage viewed. And so you, like I said, you want to hold that attention span, right? People have short attention spans. So if your reel goes through and you have a 1-minute reel and it gets viewed for 3 seconds, there's a good likelihood that Instagram's not going to keep showing that to people because people aren't watching it. Whereas if you have a 1-minute reel and it's viewed for 1 minute and it's watched 3 times, Instagram's going to be like, oh, these are the things that we want to share, that we want to show people. So between percentage views and engagement, right? The more people that are commenting and having conversations, right? This is what social media is all about, is having conversations. And so these are the 2 important things to remember about the algorithm when posting your reels. Live video, I'm not going to get into this too much, but I talked about it slightly earlier, right? People really start to get to know you and they really start to trust you with live video. And if you don't know what to talk about, you guys, I am right there with you. I get into my head sometimes very often, but if you don't know what to talk about, you guys talk about yourself, right? We always have so much to say. We love talking about ourselves, right? Share a story about maybe the first time that your daughter walked, or maybe you share a story about when I did a yoga teacher training, or this yoga class that I taught, or the cute thing that your dog did this morning. Just go live and be authentic and be you, and just share from your heart and from your story, right? Just like you were having, imagine that you're a best friend. That's what I like to do actually sometimes. Abby, you guys mostly know, she's my buddy. And I sometimes like to visualize that Abby's on the other end and I'm just FaceTime with Abby. And it literally, it works, you guys, it really does. So find your buddy and visualize them. Great Juice Plus accounts to follow for content. Here's another one that you can screenshot. These are a lot of people that I like to recreate from. Jamie Kenzie, Emily Ann Otten, Ashley Nicole Hudson, Jamie Cantrell, Meecha Ray, Victoria Shalom Health. And another one that I didn't put on here that was really good is Veggie Mom Cooks. She is awesome. And so I've got a challenge for you guys, 15 reels. And this is just to practice, get in there and just start doing videos, because the more that you do it, the more that you practice, the easier you get, and the easier that you can just do and knock them out. And so I just say 15, that's 2 weeks, right? Just try it for 2 weeks. And maybe that takes 3 weeks, right? Maybe your DMO is that you work 5 days a week and then you take 2 days off. So this takes you 3 weeks, and that's perfectly okay. And so the most important part, you guys, is to go back at the end of it all, after those 15 days, and just look at the posts that got a lot of views and got a lot of engagement. And those are the posts that you want to create more content on. Those are the posts that your viewers are watching and they're liking. And so a great tip is, if you have a reel that did really well, turn it into a live video, or turn it into a carousel, or turn it into a post. You can literally like recreate. And so here is a social media, this is kind of a social media DMO that I try to use, 30 minutes. And I encourage you to set a timer. Most important part, set a timer, because otherwise you can get lost in the scroll hole. So first and foremost, 10 minutes pre-engagement and adding your future content creation to your saved folder. So this is your 10 minutes where you can go through and scroll, but scroll with intention, you guys. Engage on people, comment on people, because when you comment on people, then you're going to show up in their feed. And then then when you post your post, then you're going to show up in their feed. So the second 10 minutes is when you're going to create. And so you're going to either record your videos or you're going to edit them. You're going to add to stories. Maybe you're going to go live. And then the last 10 minutes is when I want you to start engaging again, right? So this is when you're going to engage with people that are commenting on your posts. This is when you're going to go into your DMs and you're going to answer all, because you're going to have buttloads of questions in your DMs, and you're going to go through and you're going to answer all those questions. So set your timer 10, 10, 10. When your timer goes off, turn it off and you are done. On to your next, right? Maybe hop onto your Teamsy and do a half-hour power hour on Teamsy. Okay, so let's recap, you guys. Number one, know your niche, figure out what you're passionate about. Number two, model others. So with your own authentic spin, right? Number three, call to action. What is your call to action? What do you want people to do? Number four is share to your platforms, right? Share to your stories, share to your TikTok, share to your Facebook. And then last but not least is your engagement, right? Go out there and have those conversations, because that is what social media is all about, right? Okay, so now we're gonna get into the fun part, and I'm gonna share my iPhone with you guys. So this is really fancy. Hang on one second. All right, everybody can see that? Perfect. Okay, so first things first, you guys, we are going to go through and I'm going to show you about the saving videos. So you're going to go ahead and go to your main profile. You're going to see those three dots in the top right-hand corner. And then in there, that's where you're going to see that save. So it's about 6 down is where you'll see that saved folder. And then you can see right there, that's where I've got all of the things saved that I would like to recreate here in the future. And so let's see here. We will do Veggie Mom Cooks. She's amazing. And so when you click on this, you see in the bottom right-hand corner, it's going to have that little music symbol and it says Veggie Mom Cooks. And this might not actually be a good one to recreate because it doesn't have any, let's see. We're going to go into this one. So you go and you click on that bottom right-hand corner. And then this is where the audio is that you can go ahead and save. So right on the top there, you can either click save audio, or if you were ready to record this, right down there on the bottom, you just go ahead and you click that button and you use audio. And then you guys, that audio is already right in there on the top there. And so you can just go ahead and start recording. And then the other thing that I wanted to show you guys, the first one on there, you can see is it says right in the top corner, it says original. So this is the first person that actually created this. And then you can see they got 4.2 million views. This went viral. And then all of these other ones are all people that have recreated this same exact reel. They've just done it for their own niche. And so you can go ahead and you can search through and you can look for one that's in the health and wellness field to get ideas for tips. And then you simply just go through and you just go ahead and recreate some of those reels. And so last but not least, I was just going to show you how to do a reel. And so you're going to go ahead onto your main screen. You're going to click that plus sign in the top right-hand corner. Second one down is reel. And then from here, this is where you will see all of the different things that you can go through and you can edit. So first of all, audio. If you want to just use your own, like say you have like the Hunger Games, you want to do this song, whatever that is. You're like, oh, I want to do a reel for that song. You just go ahead and you can pick that audio and then you can hit record and start recording your video. The second thing on that list is the timer. So you can do 60 minutes, you can do 15, I'm sorry, not 60 minutes, 15 seconds, 30 seconds, 60 seconds. I would encourage you to do the longer of the numbers if you think it's going to be longer, because that is one thing that you cannot go back and change once you've already recorded the video. That's something that's set in stone. The next thing is going to be the speed of the voice. And the only time that I use this is if I'm lip syncing. I'll go ahead and I'll change that to 2x and then it slows it down and I can actually I can lip sync it and it feels like it fits. Like it's more, it really looks like I'm singing. So so that's the only time that I actually use that one. And then last but not least is the timer feature. And this is kind of where that the later on training comes in, because this timer, oh my gosh, you can do so many amazing things with this timer. But so as you can see, you can shorten it. So say there's like a beat in the song and you want to just put the timer right on that beat so that you can record the video and then the video stops when that beat stops. And then you go ahead and you set the timer and you do it and it gives you 3 seconds to get set up. And then once you have done that, then you have an opportunity for the align feature. And again, this is probably a step 2 training once you guys have done your 15 reels and kind of practice getting in the flow of recording your own reels. And so then you go, and then you can see right here that you've got even more opportunities to edit once you've actually recorded that video. That first button on the top there, that's going to be so that you can save it to your camera roll. Secondly is that audio again, so you can go ahead and you can either add audio, you can do music, you can add voiceover, and you can add sound effects. And again, I feel like that's going to be a level 2 training once you kind of get the feel for how to do reels. The next part is the the effects button. So you can literally, like I said, you can turn your hair purple, you can put sparkles on, you can, the world is your oyster with this thing. The one that I really love though is the green screen, and you can, let's see, green screen. So with the green screen, you can literally like put a video in here, and then you can have your head in there as well, and you can go through and like, I did this really cool one with the tower garden, where the tower garden's growing, and I'm like looking at the tower garden, and it's a really cool reel. You'll have to check it out, Mountain Yoga Mama 1. And last but not least is, oops, let's see, preview. Oh, the edit text. I highly encourage you to put some text on there. Text is just, it's important because a lot of people, as you know, right, they don't have the volume on and they just kind of scroll through. And so having that text on gives those people that don't necessarily have the audio on an opportunity to see your reel. And then also, last but not least, on that, the last portion of your reel, having that call to action. So typing it out so that people can literally see it right on that last slide, and then and do your call to action. And so that is what I have for you today. We are at 6:33, but I'll leave room. If anybody has any questions, let me know. Or if you're totally overwhelmed, let me know.
You're amazing.
I'm totally overwhelmed, but it was so good. I'm going to go back and listen over and over and over. But we can do the same thing for those of us that aren't really savvy on Instagram. We can do the same thing on Facebook. Isn't that correct?
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Leanne, there are a couple of questions in the chat. I wonder if you could
Yeah. Oh gosh.
and some
Sorry.
awesome comments too.
Let's see here.
I think the big question, if you don't mind me saying, is where do you, like you said, to save the reels, and I'm still confused on that. How do you save? Like, or you take videos, are you saving it on your phone and coming back to it later?
Yes, I'll show you that one more time on here.
I'm blown away with screen sharing from your phone. How do you connect your phone to your laptop and screen share? That is cool.
Right.
I know I had to do some research on how to do it. Doing
cool.
this training was like completely out of my comfort zone, but I told Carrie I would do a training, and then everyone kept asking me to do reels, and I was like, oh God, okay, I'll do it. I'll step out of my comfort zone. Okay, so the saved videos in your phone. So I'm just going to go ahead and show you exactly what I'll do. So here we go. Here's my 10 minutes of, I'm going to go through and scroll. So on the bottom there, you see the little discovery. So it's the third button in. And so this is where I'm just going to go through, and I'm going to scroll, and I'm like, oh, hey, I might want to do, oh, look at this cute little baby. So I go through and I go in here, and then right there on the top, you can see save audio. So if you want to save the audio, that is where you can save that. But if you want to go ahead and save the whole reel, on the right-hand side of the screen, you're going to see those 3 dots there. And then you're going to go ahead and you're going to click save. And then from there on, you're going to go back to your main profile. And then you're going to click on those 3 dots and go into saved. And go into saved, and then you can see right there, there's that baby. There it is.
Gotcha. Thanks.
Yeah. Any other questions? Let's see.
I had asked, what is carousel?
A carousel, yeah. So that is, it's basically just like a post that you scroll through. So again, that's gonna stop the scroll, and it's gonna be like, 1, 2, 3, or 4 different pictures. So say you were doing 3 different tips, right? So you would say, hey, I've got 3 different tips, and then you scroll, and then your first tip is on that page, and then you scroll, and then your second tip is on that page, and then you scroll, and your third tip is on that page. So basically, it's just a way to kind of stop the scroll, and it's a way for people to be on your page longer. And again, those are the ones that are gonna get seen more because you are spending more time. You're spending more time on them. Does that answer your question?
So Leanne, I think this was an amazing training for us beginners. I don't know if you're like me. While you were talking, I know you told us not to do it, but I went onto Instagram and I pressed a couple things and I found the word reels and then I found the word saved. I just did it by playing around. But I think what might really work for those of you that have never done them is to call a buddy or two up and get on Zoom and play around and just actually play with each other, pressing buttons and seeing what you find so you can begin to practice.
Yeah, exactly. That's how you learn. So I did a 30-day challenge a couple of months ago. And just in doing that challenge, it's just the practice, practice, practice. And you guys, you're going to be messy and you are going to be like all over the place when you first start. But you just got to let yourself be messy in order to figure it out.
And I am assuming, Leanne, that you can make your reel and decide not to post it because you don't like it. So you can get it all done and then just trash it. So you're not making a reel and having people watch while you're doing it. You can get it all done, save it, and then post it all.
No, absolutely. And I didn't share this, but one of my biggest hacks is that I will go through and I will just, if I'm like feeling like confident and like I look really pretty or something like that, I'll go on and I'll just record like a bunch of different ones and I'll save them to my drafts. And then when I'm feeling creative, I'll go back and I've got all these different videos recorded. And then that's when I'll go in and I'll add the text to it, and I'll add the post, and that's when I'll end up sharing it. And so that's a really easy tool to, if you want to do, one post a day, you can record all your videos on Sunday and then you can post Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
Right. So if you'll answer that last question, which just says, what's your IG name again? And then we're going to close it up. But Leanne, this has been amazing.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, Smoothies and Plants on Instagram. And also I have two. I'm also Mountain Yoga Mama 1. And that's on TikTok, I'm Smoothies and Plants too.
Great. So just as a reminder to everybody, first of all, Leanne, that was a great training. The PowerPoint was great. Your research, I still am blown away that you can share your phone. I've seen other people do it before. It never occurred to me to ask. I'll have to find out about that. But number one, it is live stream onto Turn Up the Heat. And it will be on our YouTube station, our Heat YouTube. So you can also find it on YouTube. Everything, all the Tuesday night meetings are always on the Heat YouTube. So it's a quick way to find it. So Leanne, that was fantastic. Thank you so much. If you all want to unmute yourself and really give a great roar to Leanne because it was incredible.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Did it. That's awesome.
Very good.
Wow.